This is crazy. This is a full circle. Long time coming, I guess. So I have always felt that Mariah Carey had the voice to open stargates, to what do I want to say? Conduct celestial energies. Thank you. Conduct celestial energies. Like, you know, she's a high pitched siren, right? She's a siren. So there's a clip. You'll find it in the description box, which is what prompted me to do this reading. After I saw that, I was like, no, I'm doing this reading now, because, you know, so it makes sense to me now why Tommy Mottola got why they put her in a not put her, maybe put her, you know, why they got their hands on her quick, and why she was married to the president. You know, I mean, Mariah, of course, we all know what a vixen, what a siren Mariah was, but, you know, she went straight to Tommy Mottola, the man in the industry of the beast. And, you know, including the others, Minnie Riperton, Shantae Moore, they are also excellent at hitting that octave. But the video down there is a clip of Mariah, a short of Mariah in a pool with a dolphin. And I want you to watch the clip, take a look at the clip, and pay attention to how the dolphin reacts when Mariah hits an octave. So we're going to start with the native heart, not the native heart, I'm sorry, the starseed oracle. You know, and the dolphins, you know, the porpoises, the whale entered, the orcas, the ancient ancestors, they were the first to be, they were seated here. Some of them were seated here. They came through portals. Some came on arcs, but they came through portals in the bottom of the ocean when places during the Orion Wars and other wars. Mintaka is a planet in Orion's belt, one of the 3 stars in Orion's belt, that was a planet of water. They said Mintaka had water so clear that you could see for miles underwater. And some it's said to be where some of the first light workers originated. And during the Orion Wars, Mintaka was destroyed. Oh wow. Right off the top. Karmic relationships, Orion and karmic relationships, Tommy Mottola and Mariah Carey. And that's why you have a lot of Orion star children here. That's why, I mean, and think about 3:33 on the clock. Think about how so many of the world's wonders and greatest structures and architecture are built in alignment with Orion. That is not by accident. Okay, so again, Mariah Carey can open that octave, can do things. It can open if you're trained, if you know how to use it. This is what I'm getting from the Akashic records from the universe. She can summon spheres. She can summon celestial energies. 4:14 was just on the clock. So keep that in mind. I do these readings about people's gifts, about my gifts, or when I talk about them and I do these readings, I should say, because you have gifts that you think are just you, or that you haven't activated, or maybe you feel like you're crazy and you're not. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh my. Okay. So I'm going to ask the Starseed Oracle. Mariah Carey, Minnie Riperton, Shantae Moore. Tell us about their gifts. What is it about? No, what's the question I want to ask? Tell us about those who can summon the spheres. Oh, way too many cards. Wow. Here, let me cut the deck. One more. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's start somewhere else. Let's start with the Compendium of Constellations. I'd like to send Serendipity, Magic, and Beauty to JV, who is the only person outside of my family who's ever gifted me a deck of cards. And this is the Compendium of Constellations by Black and Moon. There we go. See, interesting. Pessimism and beauty. Yep. Makes total sense. Pessimism and beauty. Andromeda and Hyades. Hiatus. Yetis. Hades. Depending on your dialect, with Sagittarius protect on the bottom of the deck. Beauty meaning Mariah Carey and her gift. Beauty in clearly, you know, obviously her talent, and pessimism, the negativity. Beauty over negativity. Looking for the beauty in everything. That came up in the Fire Horse reading. Interesting. And there it is. I mean, what else do I got to say? Narcissism, pessimism. She was in the belly of the beast. Surrounded by negative, pessimistic, you know, and it used to be like, I used to be like, you know, this lady can conduct celestial energies, and she's here singing hooks on rap songs. You know, I mean, no diss. I love them songs too. Yeah, she was surrounded. Fuck. She was surrounded. She might even be from Orion. Oh, Orion. She was a hoe from Orion. No. Manifest is on the bottom of the deck. I mean, wow. You know, sometimes during these readings, I got to kind of step back for a hot sec and be like, whew. And we have Orion the Hunter, right? I bet you Heidi, and you have, you know, is this constellation, is that, is this where, is this Hades? Is there a similarity? Is there a connection? Forgive my ignorance, you know, but I asked the question, you know, I wonder. But she was surrounded. She was hunted. And, oh shit. I just heard it in my mind's ear. Isn't Orion pointing his arrow at Sirius, where the whale and orca elders come from? Anywho, okay, let's see what else we got. What else do you need us to know about the Minnie Ripertons? The wisdom. Yeah. The wisdom and manipulate. Yeah. Manipulate on the bottom of the deck. Their wisdom. Yeah. The alcohol too. You know, when Mariah was drinking, or allegedly it was put to us that she was drinking, right? The wisdom. There's like wisdom in her voice. There's wisdom. And these fuckers came in and kept her from downloading or coming into that. I just heard her ancestors. Yeah. They never wanted her to become hip or wise to what they were doing, who she was, what she could do, what she could achieve. Subtlety. Yeah. Subtlety with life on the bottom. Subtlety. So life, you know how life speaks to us in subtle ways? Those us gifted ones gently brings us, some of us not, but for the most part, gently nudges at us. Yeah, subtlety. Tell us more about subtlety. Manifest with divinity. Subtly manifesting divinity with travel on the bottom of the deck. Yep. Calling the spheres. Opening the stargates. Oh. See, Hollywood and the entertainment industry is like the flame to the moth. Of gifted ones with abilities, and where they can keep tabs on you and keep you close. Hollywood, the wood of the holly tree, right? That's what the druids used to cast spells. Yep, look at this. Mars, the great severing. Yeah, so this is, this may have been going on. These people have known who she was. It's been going on since the severing, since Mars was destroyed. You know, because Mars, for those who don't know, Mars was a water planet once upon a time, and it was destroyed during the Orion Wars. Was it during the Orion Wars? I believe it was during the Orion Wars. And then you have the blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. I just asked about the dolphins, and there it is, Star Sirius, messenger, bringing harmony to balance. Pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature, earth pulsing. Okay, we're going to see where this reading goes. Sometimes, so the messenger, Star Sirius, and there it is. What do we need to know about that, though? Why is that coming up about? Yeah, spending time in nature. Okay. You know how they don't like us, interacting with the dolphins, the wild. I mean, I know dolphins I know them things. I know dolphins got their own reputation for being horny little bastards, but I'm getting that it's the connection to nature, that there are messages from her star family, from her star ancestors, bringing harmony, right? Singing in harmony, bringing harmony, messages, earth pulsing, spending time in nature. Yep, I remember Soul Plan, the Faded, remembering who she is about her spending time in nature. But like, Mariah has a life of decadence. She has a life of, but nature is where she will gain the wisdom, connecting, and she connected with nature with that dolphin. Last card, trust the timing. The wave you came in on. Wow, time is not running out. The wave she came in on, huh? I was really hoping the whale orcas would come out, the elders, but Sirius came out. That's good enough for me. Star Sirius. Oh, shoot. So spending time in nature. Whenever I feel anxious, I kid you not, and you don't have to like go deep out into the middle of nowhere. You can just take a walk in the park or go sit in your backyard. Or maybe somewhere a little different, but you know, the forest preserve, the park, just taking a minute to kind of like stop and because nature is doing what nature does. Nature is not out of balance. We are. So, and out of tune. Nature is in tune. So when you go into nature, you become recalibrated. Like I'll leave after a walk in the park and just feel so much better. Or a walk in the forest preserve. I'll feel so much better. Like all that edginess and anxiety and like anxiousness is gone. So there's something about nature, trusting the wave and the timing. Time is not running out. So there may be an awakening. Yep, lifting the veil is on the bottom of the deck. Mariah, where are you? We need you. What does the tarot have to say? Let's find out. Fantastical Creatures Tarot. Tell us about Miss Mariah, Miss Ripperton, Miss Shantae Moore, those who can hit those higher octaves. The Sphere Summoners. What do we need to know about the Sphere Summoners? Interesting. Ooh, this is going to be a tricky read. Sometimes these reads are tricky, but it all works out in the end. It's worth it. You just got to stay with it till the end. So we have Temperance, Sagittarius energy with 5 of Swords. And swords are about communication, and songs are messages, a form of songs are a form of communication, and there are messages in those songs. Temperance. So this particular deck is like a tarot card and oracle card, in my opinion, together. It's not, doesn't necessarily give me that it was intended to be necessarily that, but that's how it, reads to me. So the 5 of Swords. Okay, I got it. I hear y'all. The Kappa of Japan, I'm talking to my spirit team. The Kappa of Japan is a tricky, dangerous creature that lives in seas, rivers, and ponds. This grotesque little man wears a tortoise shell on his back and his fish scales on the exposed parts of his body. His most distinguishing feature is the circular depression on the crown of his head. The Kappa waits in his watery home to drown his victims. The only way to defeat the Kappa is to trick him into spilling the water from his head, as without it, he is powerless. And I don't know why I just thought of Whitney Houston. Side note, when I heard Little Bobby Christina on that song with, not will.i.am, Fugees, what's his name? I can't think of it. I started crying because this was after she passed away, when she was like, "Sing, mommy." Oh my God, broke my heart. The magic. Okay, so it lives in rivers and ponds. Tortoise shells. Most distinctive feature is a circular depression on the crown of his head. Were they gonna hurt Mariah? Because Mariah and Whitney were up there. They were 2 of the top sirens, right? So the only way to defeat the Kappa is to trick him into spilling the water from his head, as without it, he is powerless. The Kappa can also be tricked into telling his secrets about healing and bone setting. Divinatory meaning, this could be a time of betrayal, misfortune, and loss. Stand up for yourself in a dispute. Magical uses. Use this card to reveal an untrustworthy person. Yeah, so Mariah had untrustworthy person around here, but you know what? The Temperance is here. It was all a matter of time. That's what the message I just got. And we got the Hermit. The lady in the woods. Very careful about who she spends her time with, who she gives her knowledge to, her secrets. Again, and there's this lady in nature. Very interesting. And the Hermit is, we got Sagittarius and Virgo energy here. Virgo. I just keep hearing it's going to all work out in the end. That's what the Temperance energy is about. Receive spiritual currency, give spiritual currency. Yeah, message in a dream, animal messenger, trust yourself, you're right. Every new level equals a new devil, just like video game. You know how the video games are? Now there's a new, you got this new level, and so now you've reached this new level, and so now there's a new boss to fight. Divine timing, and something you brought home with you with 666 on the bottom. So I feel that these ladies, specifically Mariah, might be going through some kind of awakening process soon. Message in a dream, animal messenger, and we have Star Sirius too. Yeah, I feel that she's going to... I was just going to say ancient ancestor, and it's the third card on the bottom of the deck. 666, the sign, and ancient ancestor. These were in test and repeat. These were the cards from the reading yesterday. From the fire horse here. To stop, they wanted to stop Mariah from joining this, from joining us, the rebellion. Oh shoot. Yep. So tell us about these messages. Start with the compendium. We'll go back to the compendium. Oh wow, it's a lot of cards. Yeah, this is too many cards. But I did see Majesty. So, you know, they need to control these voices of these messengers and these star children and these gifted beings that come down here, that are here. They have to control them, because that's why they have, and they control the airwaves, they control their music. And Mariah went from filling up stadiums. Like those of us from the 90s, we remember Mariah filled stadiums. And she wasn't dancing and juking and, you know, all that stuff. It was just her voice. Like I said, she summons the spheres. You're a sphere. You're a sphere of light. And she summons you. There can be miracles when you believe. No hope is frail. It's time to eat that Disney song. Well, who was that? That was Mariah and Whitney, wasn't it? Yes, on the bottom of the deck. Yeah. Animal messenger, and then that spending time in nature, earth pulsing. You know, like I said, I feel that her team is working with her. What do we got here? Knowledge. Yup. We have wisdom and knowledge here. Centaurus. Interesting, because the Centaurus came up in the reading yesterday as chariot energy in the fantastical creatures tarot. Maybe I'm the messenger to give them the message that, hey, you might want to think about You know, because like I said, she summoned, and then all of a sudden it was, you know, she broke up with Tommy, and then it was, you know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't have one of the chosen ones or gifted ones who can actually create change, summon divine entities, energies, beings. Like I said, opening stargates, calling in spheres, conducting celestial energies. Time. With sacrifice on the bottom of the deck. No, you won't. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And you know, Five of Swords is about having a conflict, and that's what we saw in the beginning, Orion. Five of Swords is about having a conflict. So Tommy Mottola was a karmic relationship for her, and she got away from it, but that's why they had to swoop in and get her while she was young, before she had that knowledge and wisdom. Yep. Attraction, overcome, life, and conform with purity on the bottom of the deck. Yeah. They wanted her to conform. But see, the divine has another plan. I got a feeling they're going to wake Mariah up. That's why she went through all that crazy stuff. For the spiritual warfare part of it. Because that's the last thing they need. Overcome and attraction. Purity. Majesty. With Pegasus, which was also in the Fire Horse reading, and anger. Just thinking if I want to ask anything else. So, just something to think about when, like Jimi Hendrix, when Jimi Hendrix played the guitar, like he had a concert in Hawaii, open air concert out in Hawaii, and there were UFO sightings. So for my artists and my musicians, songstresses, all of that, know that your ability to sing isn't just about singing for there's a hidden value. There's a divine value to your voice. And it reminds me of when you know, back in, like, we always watch the old movies of the old, you know, the rock stars of, like, the, you know, the 50s and 60s and 70s, and how many of them, their parents and their grandparents told them that they were going to work for the devil, that they were going, you know, how many of them sang in church and lifted the people's souls and hearts, and then they left to go to the music industry and became heroin addicts or drug addicts, alcoholics, ended up mysteriously dying, you know, because these record labels take insurance policies out on them. So not only do the royalties and all that, publishing, whatever the hell, all comes back to them, but then they take life insurance policies and they get paid through those too, because that is a thing. You can take a life insurance policy out on somebody. So again, the music industry is a containment unit. Why do you think there's so many CIA and military people involved? Riders of the storm. Even him. What's his name? Jeez, I need to drink some water. I know his name. Doors. Jim Morrison. There it is. Jim Morrison. Riders of the Storm. His father was in the military. Isn't it the Grateful Dead? And there's others. There's someone that says to me constantly, in my Starseed community, no one's father is a plumber. And now it all makes sense. No one's father is a plumber. And that's why, because your voice is your magic power. It's your gift. And there's other layers to it. Just like with your intuition. When you unfold your intuition, and your intuition and you are online, like you're working together, I want to say in tandem, but together, that's just the beginning. It's like your intuition is like the base level of your gifts, or one of your gifts. So that's why friends, family, countrymen, star brothers and sisters, this is why there are so many military figures involved in Alphabet Gang, all that, involved in, their children went into them, because this industry is created to be kind of like not a refugee camp, concentration camp, like a concentration country club. 32:14 on the clock. Lots of 14s I've been seeing. For these sirens, for people who can send messages to the rest of the world, who can lift up the rest of the world. Like I said, a lot of the stars that we know started in the church, like Ray Charles. And they were like, you going to the devil, son? You going to the, where are you going? You've been tricked by the beast. And they were. They were tricked to go sing for the beast and not for the divine. So I'm going to leave this right here. Because I think that we've gotten enough from the cards. So, God, the divine, the angels, protect Mariah Carey, protect Minnie Riperton, I'm not Minnie Riperton, Shantae Moore, protect those that are coming after them with the same abilities or similar abilities. Please protect them, because we need them. And the knowledge and wisdom that their bloodlines and their ancestry, their DNA encoding DNA coding and the messages that they were meant to come here and do, and lift up the people and set free the people and resonate or harmonize, bring the harmony back to the people. It's interesting because we got the Hermit on the bottom of the deck, the World, and the Queen of Pentacles, which is the energy of being, everything, tranquility and harmony. The fact that those three ladies can hit those notes, and that a dolphin goes fucking ape shit. Again, where did it go? Divinity. It's in here somewhere. Okay, I wanted to go into this. Force be with them. Because I didn't talk about this. I just got it after the reading. Receive spiritual currency gift. Mariah had we were supposed to receive what she had to give us. She had some kind of she has and contains within her a spiritual currency. That's why they had to nip it in the bud. Here, drink this wine, sit down, Take this money, live the life, and do not deliver the message to the people anymore. We need your voice, Mariah. Get your voice back, girl. Like, I'm talking about, like, you know, in prime condition. Because now, yeah, you were young then, but you know what you are now? You're a master. You're a master. You're ready for the next level, right? So if you're ready for the next level, there's going to be a new devil trying to stop you. But Mariah, we're here. We got your back. Something you brought home. Energy, message in a dream. Trust yourself. You're right. And whatever resonates with you, take that as well. But I wanted to address this. I pulled this out and I didn't know what it meant when it first came out. And then I was like, oh, then it just clicked. She has something that we were supposed to receive in spiritual currency, and she was giving it to us. If you believe in yourself, know what you want, you're gonna make it happen. Make it happen. Bum 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 bum. If you don't know Mariah Carey's "Make It Happen" song, oh, I'm just like, oh, there's my garage floor. Make it happen. Yeah, we got carpet in our garage. Our hangout spot. I'm trying to think of the words, but it's a song about her struggle and how she just believed. I'm about to listen to it now. Believe in yourself. You're gonna make it happen.